So at the end of last episode, Bakugo got stabbed. Shigaraki was kind of fully possessed by All for One and totally burned up, by the way. It's pretty grotesque. It reminds me of Armin in Attack on Titan, that same scene. Okay, let's see what happens. This episode's called The Ones Within Us. Ooh, yeah. He got stabbed a lot of times. Oh, he can hear him.
Anger, the power will react to that feeling.
Now,
what's important is keeping tabs.
He heard All for One talking to Shigaraki. And that makes me wonder, does this have to do with the fact that the powers are connected to each other? Like, if someone else had been closer, would they have been able to hear it? I don't think so. I think it's just Deku. Whoa. His eyes lit up.
Take that back.
Deku going a little berserk. Oh. Ooh.
Victoria!
Oh no, he touched him.
To me.
Oh.
One for all.
So, we're now also learning this is how All for One steals power. So he actually has to touch you to do it. I think it's too big of a power for Shigaraki to steal right now. That's my guess.
Inside One for all.
Now, do you notice every time we get these, like, flashes into One for All, less of Deku is covered up. Like, when he was first in here, his whole face was covered up. Only the top of his head was, like, unshrouded. But now his hands are unshrouded and his torso. And I wonder, the more that he unlocks of All for One, will he more completely appear within, like, this power scape?
Right now, dead from Endeavor's blast or the resulting fall.
Oh, that's grotesque.
I tell you to shut up earlier.
It's no use. You can't move in this world yet.
So, y'all know I'm weak for Nana here. I love her. But what she just said is really important. So, she said, let us take care of this for you. Meaning, even after they die, the previous wielders of One for All still maintain the mission. Like, they are still fighting their fight, even after they're dead. Like, the piece of them that goes into the power still has the job to protect the current user and to defeat All for One.
Demolished.
Oh, and we still have Gigantomachia to deal with, by the way.
Endeavor and the others, the situation.
Who's this guy?
I'll lend you some set me on the right path.
Wouldn't it be amazing if Ingenium actually saves them and, like, evacs them?
Then let's hurry.
Oh, Rock is actually thinking of the total plot here.
I've stolen rage at me. Afterward, I awake dejected.
Wow. So how many powers has he stolen over time, and all those people are basically inside his head a little bit? I didn't think of the other way that this would go when you take powers instead of voluntarily passing yourself on with them.
Closest I ever come.
This lady is our grandma.
Mm-hmm. But he never knew her at all.
A purgatory of dead wielders clinging onto a sad sort of afterlife. Oh, I'm sorry. You two have
See,
so much
he
to
considers
catch
it
up on.
sad, but I consider it inspirational.
So you're Kotaro's son.
Falling apart.
This is wild, like this psychological battle.
You're no
I'm sorry I'm stopping so much this episode, but, like, we're getting so much info that the show isn't directly telling us, but showing us. And, like, I have to work through what I'm thinking here, because, like, this psychological battle that's happening now, it makes me wonder, does this happen every time All for One steals a quirk? It just so happens that other quirks don't have, like, the strength of will that One for All has. That makes me think that that's true. Like, this probably happens every time he steals a quirk. It's just, it's so much easier to steal somebody else's quirk than to steal One for All. The first user,
My brother is quite stubborn.
man, he can't take it yet.
Next, you.
And it only takes the two of them, not even all the users.
Both people I already put in the ground.
These are already people I already
You
put in the
say
ground.
you've chosen, little brother? You're in fear. It was a mistake to let this child have your ability. He is a useless creature.
It was a mistake to let this child have your power. Huh. Did All Might not choose Deku of his whole willpower? Like, did the previous users influence him in choosing Deku? I really wonder now. I really wonder if I went back how All Might acts during those scenes. Because he changed his mind because of how Deku acted, you know, the whole, like, acting without thinking thing. But I wonder... All for One seems to think that his brother had some influence on this decision.
We'll stay by his side.
I always love these scenes. Oh, they all shot in. I just love the way they visualize the power of One for All.
City is now in Nabuto City. We've clocked him running
Man,
at
he's
100
fast.
kilometers per hour. I saw your face earlier.
So Dabi brought Skeptic on purpose. What's he need Skeptic for? I wonder. Because we know Dabi wants Endeavor gone, and he wants Endeavor gone in like a really highly public way. She can't understand their viewpoint.
The heroes didn't hesitate. I'll be okay.
Well, Ochako or Deku wouldn't, though. That's the thing, because not all heroes are the same. Just like not all villains are the same.
Even if he was standing, have to do it right now. Dobby's.
Yeah, she has this weird fascination with, like, knowing what her victims are feeling, or the people she copies.
On what's important, or you'll back to us.
Bye.
They are like this weird family. Maybe with the exception of Dabi, but they,
Sure about letting her
especially
off like
these
that?
three,
You think
do
she
care about
should
each other
be
quite a
trying to
bit.
stop her? I'm fine.
Thanks, girls. Please, I need...
Like, and imagine in some other show that Rock would have just crushed Froppy and been just a random death just like that. You know which animes I'm talking about. The bloody shock kind.
You make sure there's
No, that's Toga.
Okay? Just be careful.
This is why you don't bring students into a war zone. You will give them trauma.
Nice. No. Himiko?
Why would you keep following her? Just leave. Oh, she's afraid that she actually has people in here hostage.
He's so...
Himiko is really creepy, but also, like, in a weirdly friendly way. I wish her power worked differently.
Want to do to me?
They had to put a new costume on her because this scene would be too awkward if she was still naked.
Will you murder me too? So I'm gonna have to stop you right now!
Is she gonna lift the whole house? Oh, the end of episode! Oh. So, I think the fight with Shigaraki is done. I'm not sure how Shigaraki's gonna get away, or the heroes that are there are gonna get away, but they will. Now we're worried about Gigantomachia, how they're gonna stop him. Maybe he'll just grab Shigaraki and leave. That could also be a thing. But Dabi has his own plans here, so he's obviously gunning for Endeavor. For some reason, he needed Skeptic for this as well, which I haven't figured out yet. But, Bakugo is really hurt. Midori is really hurt. Endeavor has kind of used a bunch of his power, although his son can cool him off. But also, Todoroki is fresh here, so I don't know. Dabi can probably go head-to-head with Todoroki for a while, but not that long, because unlike Dabi, Todoroki can actually cool himself down. So there's a hard limit to Dabi's ability to keep fighting, which he's already used a lot of it fighting Hawks. So maybe that's what they need Skeptic for, but the rest of the league can't really do much against Todoroki. Like if you were to have like Spinner, what's he gonna do with Todoroki's? I don't know. We'll see.